loves it. Hang loose. Alright, been in the newspaper. Might as well just go down the obsessive route and do this. Okay, today is Monday. Now, Sunday, no meeting, I get it. But no decision either. And this is about opening up for air travel. The rest of the stuff is fluff right now. But boy, are we getting into the fluff. I myself, why do I feel so tired all the time? It's because I stayed up late. We did King Lear on Zoom. I don't know. King Lear, we cut out parts, and I started it off slow because, I started off late. That's my bad. I had it all set up way beforehand, and caught me by surprise. So it's as if, and I had the lines right off the bat. So I didn't press and then they couldn't find record on Zoom. New fangled technology. And boy, some of my friends are not. Yeah, I learned some, and then there's like, we gotta help people, learn too. So anyhow, it's okay. We had a new guest, so there's some good voice acting. We have some sound problems, and we cut out pieces. You'll see. King Lear. I played the Earl of Gloucester. Oh, indeed, my eyes lead me to the cliff. And they fake his. You don't know what I'm saying. Crypto. So, this morning's paper. Hey, happy Monday. It's Mongoose Monday. It's Mongoose Monday. When I cut back on these, maybe every day. News pundit. I don't know. It's wearing me out. There's and it makes me focus on news. But here we go, a little Mongoose Monday stuff. Virus, this is the headline I see. Virus worries get a pause. I'm looking for a particular story, and that to me is what I would assume others. This is a big story, right? And it's kind of getting backburnered because they're in negotiations and no decision yet. However, the decision could be made today. And I've been saying that for days. So here we have virus worries get a pause, meaning that Kalakaua was open for Kalakaua Sunday. So everyone went bicycling, and a good time was had by all because they bicycle. And it says stuff like Sunday while worries. So they're worried. You don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about the virus. Don't worry about it. Just go bike around. But they're feeling safe, relatively safe outdoor experience. I loved it to see your families in a safe environment. Safe environment. See, they're going around huffing and puffing. See, it's exercise, right? Now, exercise is good. Eat right and exercise. Sorely lacking in the medical field is to emphasize eating right and exercise. But that's a key to a lot of health. Matter of fact, I got an appointment coming up on Zoom. I got a checkup on Zoom. So I gotta run. So I'm gonna do this fast. I'm gonna panic. So here we go. Exercise. The local cases, they've been having a surge of local cases, and they trace some of the local cases to the gym. Gym, as in pump iron, and cardio. And my memory of the gym, which is dusty and full of cobwebs at the moment, My memory is people get tired and they're huffing and puffing. Without the phone. No, but there's a lot of inhale, exhale. Rapid inhale, exhale. Because of exercise. This. I'm not put a downer on your situation, but it's not exactly a safe environment. Matter of fact, it was, I don't know if it's like relatively unsafer because people feel free without their masks. It's not just about the masks, but some interesting stuff going on. Virtual theater. Virtual theater. We are little zombies. So they're taking the zombie apocalypse and bringing it down to the child level to make it cute. Trump aides undercut Fauci. Trump aides undercut Fauci as he speaks about viruses. Now this is kind of bizarre because this is where it gets political. He goes on, this guy is, Fauci is technically the nation's top infectious disease expert. He's touted as that disease expert for the nation. Yeah. He goes on different programs and such like this, and they take snippets of these programs, these Trump aides, take snippets of these programs, and basically they're campaigning to undercut his authority as an expert. So people don't listen to him. This is one of the people you want people to listen to, but now they're just smear campaigning the disease expert. So as this gets political, you're going to have to cut through thicker layers of bullshit as the election comes by. Because vote for me, everything's fine. Look what I did for the nation. There's no virus here. La, 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 la. Vote for me, you feel safe. I alleviated your fears. It's all these tactics. You just have to cut through the bullshit with a chainsaw. Like Texas chainsaw bullshit massacre. Okay, Florida hits record COVID cases. Record. Oh boy. I mean, this is like one of those record highs where you get your number. Does it matter anymore? Florida, Disney World reopens with 15,299 cases, new cases. Welcome to the Magic Kingdom, where viruses are invisible. Well, this one's good. As it gets more and more weird, the zombie apocalypse is upon us. The Texas man dies after attending COVID party for hoax virus. Now, what you got here is San Antonio. I'm not that familiar with San Antonio. San Antonio, deep in the heart of Texas. Actually, it's just south and shit. I mean, whatever. Remember the Alamo? I did the Alamo painting. Came out really great. Someone want to keep it back. Oh, wait a minute. Where's my fun little... Now, this is just basically stupid news. The Texas man in San Antonio, 30-year-old man, believed the coronavirus was a hoax. Is that English if I say hoax? Hoax. I'm watching my diction, and no, I'm not. A quote COVID party. There, a man believed it was a hoax and attended a COVID party. The man attended a gathering with an infected person to test whether the coronavirus was real, said Dr. Jane Appleby, Chief Medical Officer of Methodist. A lot of Methodists down there. Bishop Methodist. Bishop Big D. So, he's like sucking in right-wing Fox Newsy stuff where the virus is nothing. It's just a hoax. It's just a conspiracy theory. It's just a hoax. See, impressionable minds, right? And the persuasion of mass media is big. It is persuasive, and people watch the news because they snip it and they leave, and the news is strayed far from just reporting the facts, ma'am, just the facts. So he gets the impression it's just a hoax. Guess who I'm voting for? So he attends a gathering where they gather around an infected person. See, this person says they're infected. It's not for real. So they have a party. That's just sick in the mind in the first place. You gather around a sick person, that's your party. I wonder what the sick person's thinking. The guy's like, "This is fucking real. You fuckers, you deserve to die." So she did not say when the party took place, the doctor, how many people attended or how long, blah blah blah, because they don't know the facts. Doctors. Premise of such parties is that's where the premise of this whole COVID party is not to have fun or mock a person who's grievously ill. We're testing, you see. We're live guinea pigs, and we're testing to see if the virus is for real, or if maybe I can get some immunity. So if they think they can get some immunity, that means they don't think it's not real. They think it's real because they're out there going, maybe if I waft the air a little bit, I'll be immune. Man, people just don't know how this crap works. Well, I don't blame them really for not knowing about microbiology. I took microbiology. I did not do well. I tried. I really didn't know. I got injured. It's a long story. I fell off a cliff involving a burial cave with skulls. No joke. Actually, we're putting the skulls back. Hiking at night in the dark. I gave them my flashlights. I was holding a candle. And I walked right off a cliff with a skull in my backpack. Yep. And this was a bad note in my little amateur archaeology stuff. I did make money doing archaeology once though too. So anyways, yeah. Attending such party may be a path to an early demise. If not chronic or unrelated fatigue, chest pain, breathing activity, daily fevers, if you survive. Dr. Robert Glatter, an emergency physician at Lenox in New York, said. So the New York doctor is like, they all have experience. I'll tell you, I've seen some pictures of this guy. I have a friend who's really huge muscle-wise. I mean, he's pretty big. And no steroids, natural body build, and it's kind of more like the sculpt category. And he does gym, obviously, and I didn't tell him as a friend. I didn't tell him this little bit of news I saw. This guy who was a big bodybuilder with lots of muscles caught COVID and this virus, and he survived the virus, and it was pretty sketchy and on-off if he would survive. But he did survive, and he was telling me, oh God, it was horrendous, and I survived in this coma kind of thing, and all that stuff. But he's alive. And it's the guy's like, I lived through it. And his muscle mass went from big to very skinny. It's not totally emaciated like the guy's movie. The Mechanic, or whatever that movie is. Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah, God, that guy's incredible. But that's gross. Get that skinny. But this guy got skinny because of the virus. Now you go spread that news around. Look what happened to that guy. That's real.
And people are going to gyms. I gotta work out. And they're catching it over here. And these people, it's not for real. It's not real. It's not real. It can't happen here. It can't happen here. I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe. And we do have our daily news on KHON TV. Support your local news. Give them money, because I don't have any. Give me money. I don't have any. What are we talking about? Ex-mayor must stand and deliver. See, there we have elections. We're getting elections. Okay, and I'm going to dive into the editorial page, because not that I don't have material, but I looked at this, I glanced, I peeked. Sorry. I was going to do this fresh off the page. Just like sometimes when I attend Shakespeare on Sunday. We're doing King Lear this Sunday. I'm on it. Jim? I don't read the play in advance. Gloucester's doing that. I messed up lines. Didn't give it the feel. What was really going on? COVID-19, a letter to the editor from Guy in Wynite. I don't know what kind of name that is. But we're going to talk about racism. I got a degree in sociology, and whenever you talk about racism, or sexuality, or even crime, the worms come out of the can. It's like, oh God. Because it's always controversial. Oh, of course it is. I try not to be racial. I think in real perspective, people who say they're not racists are themselves dealing with issues. Because I think everyone deals with a bit of racism on the inside. This is what I believe. It's just an opinion, okay? I believe everyone deals with a little racism inside. So inside me, yeah, there's a little racism too. And there's biases and prejudices and phobias, because that thing or person or place is different. Things that are different will scare a person, and they get that phobia, and the phobia turns into a rare. And that's why little dogs bark the most. They're scared shitless. They're actually scared. Make a good alarms though. Speak English, I can't understand you. Little fucking dogs are scared. They have some, this guy, COVID-19 cases mostly flat after BML protests. Now, the editor adds that. They didn't add that. They just wrote this. I found that out the hard way. I used to write some of these. Some claim that Black Lives Matter protests substantially contribute to the recent and record-breaking spikes in COVID-19 cases. Others disagree, claiming the spikes are almost entirely a result of some states prematurely opening businesses, public beaches, and parks without existing mandatory masks and social distancing protocols. Now, I'm sorry, Bruce, if you don't sound that way, but tough. Who's right? You put your idea out, your opinion idea out in the public. Who's right? If you look at the states where large BLM, sounds like a sandwich. I'll have a BLM. Too soon? BLM protests, we might find an answer. The largest BLM protest was in California, Minnesota, New York, Washington, D.C. California has now experienced a large spike in cannabis cases. Okay, so basically, this isn't really about the protest, but I think this is about the protest. Underneath, he has feelings, strong feelings about the protest, and that's fine. Hey, react how you react, express yourself how you express yourself. That's called the First Amendment. And do it in a civil way. Don't pick fights, right? And I'm trying to do this in a fun, mocking way, which is difficult when you have material like this. But you gotta laugh at some of this junk. And I'm trying to laugh at you guys' opinion. So bear with me. I'm trying to speak English just for you. Hey, no talk pidgin, eh? I can't understand. I can't understand what you're saying. Shut up. say stuff in perfect English and people don't understand what you're saying anyways. What's the use? I believe you have a little hair up your ass. Always. Tickles. Get you going in the morning. Obviously, it'll be much time. Okay, who's right? So basically, what he's saying in his letter to the editor is that if you have a large gathering, aka the protests, and protest what you will, but don't loot, it's not your shit, and don't destroy shit. Fuck you. It's not your shit to destroy. I got a bad opinion about this, so I'm going to destroy things. Fuck you. I don't care what your opinion is. Don't destroy other people's shit. Fuck you. Boy. I'm stepping into the territory of, I want my right to be a looter. So, look. This guy, back to point, is saying that these large protest gatherings are not contributing to the virus spread. The transmission, don't have symptoms, asymptomatic, don't have symptoms, but you might be a carrier. It's not contributing to it. Really? See, he doesn't want the COVID dirt to go on the protest bandwagon. So he's saying that there's no spike in both New York and Washington D.C. We're flat. The curve is flat in those places. Really? If the curve was flat in any place, I think it would make big news. I call it bullshit. Minnesota had a moderate rise, but no spike. They were flat. New York and Washington D.C. were flat. I don't know. I think we fact check that. Just sounds bullshit to me. Actually, maybe not, because I think what you got is fake news upon fake news, election campaign bullshit. So, this is what I'm saying. Take my Nostradamus chart, aka the calendar. Look at the schedule and the calendar. Yeah, soft H's. It's from the local Catholic church, so it has these little sayings in it. Today is St. Henry Day. Who the heck is St. Henry? I don't know. But today is his day. Happy St. Henry Day. Henry? Eat your beans. Today is the 13th of Monday. It's Monday, Mongoose Monday the 13th. And basically, you have 2 weeks after July 4th is the 18th. So 10 days to 14 days. So you have from tomorrow to the rest of the week, according to Nostradamus's chart, you have from tomorrow to the end of this week to observe if there's going to be basic spikes from the 4th of July. Not even protest. But stop attaching it to calendar dates. It's basically when a big group of freaking people get together, the obvious potentiality of transmission is, and the crap is exponential, and you don't see it for 2 weeks later. That's not from that one. That's not from that one. You're not really going to be able to do that, because within those 2 weeks, those groups migrate to other gatherings and other groups. What else we got here? A bunch of police and all their friggin' big giant guns all over the place. It's not the apocalypse. Latest technology. Drivers shouldn't drive in the park. They shouldn't. It's a park. Young Brothers doesn't deserve bailout. They don't. They're a giant freaking company.
A decision on out-of-state travel restrictions could come today. Heading into the weekend, Lieutenant Governor Josh Green told us that Governor Ige was gathering feedback before making an announcement.
Everyone's emotional, and if they keep cool head, then racism can be alleviated. I don't believe racism can ever be eradicated. That's like saying people, it's in the same category as people should not be allowed to have emotions or their own personal preferences, and you're going to be forced into a monogamous conformity. You can't get people to do that, because isn't that what people want to do? Great grand utopias. See, these utopias don't exist. This perfect world utopia is not happening. It's not going to. It's never going to. And there's never going to be one person that rules the world. Just look at the world. 8 billion people? Man, next week it'll be 9 billion. Heck, that goes up exponential too. 9 billion people? And you got like those madmen from before that used to, I'm going to rule the world. They're mad. That's why they call them madmen. Black Lives Matter in Hawaii. Here's why. There is more popolos in Hawaii than there was before. That's a fact. When I grew up, scarce. The only black person I knew was Barry Obama. I didn't really know him that well. He was this high school guy. Just another goofy kid in high school. How the hell did he become president? I don't understand. I don't understand. Mommy. Black Lives Matter in Hawaii. Here's why. The blah blah blah, countless murder of and countless protests, high profile, donate money. Okay, so he's saying high profile people donate money to various organizations promoting advancement of colored people. Okay. How does the average everyday person in Hawaii contribute? Oh, so these high profile people, I would say famous Hollywood celebrities, I would say ginormously overpaid athletes. I like professional sports when I watch a football game, but then when you hear how much money they make, okay. Put your money where your Doritos are. Touchdown! How does the average everyday person contribute? I don't know. We all need to work towards changing our vernacular. Fuck you. We all need to work to changing our vernacular. Up yours. Change that, motherfucker. I'm sorry. A lot of swearing. I apologize. Look. Telling everyone what they need to do. You're in a bad start already. While we're always boasting of being a melting pot, we're not boasting it. It just, oh, I guess this is going to be a long one. Blah, 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 blah. This will be NewsPepah plus talk story plus whatever. Yeah, back to Black Lives Matter in Hawaii, and here's why from one very Holly name in Hawaii Kai. I'm not going to say the names just because. That's because. How we always change our vernacular. That's the way we speak commonly. While we always boast of melting pot in the world, it used to be called melting pot, then it was, someone tried to change it to chop suey, and then mixed salad, food, local plate lunch. Hey, let's go. Hey, chop suey. Nah. Too much for the, Chinese guy or what that. Yeah, what about the Japanese guy? Used to be like that. And there has always been an underlying problem of racism in Hawaii. So he's a promoter for the world without racism. Now there's two kinds of racism. One, they call it
one I learned a long time ago in school, and they gave out some good lessons. We actually went to the school and listened to the teacher. I don't know what happened to those schools ever. That's something you hear about in the museums. That's why I'm documenting this. So, in case somebody finds this after the zombie apocalypse, this is how people felt. Well, some people. Me. That's the only person who feels this way. Just me. So I disable the comments. Speak English still gets me. So, racism in Hawaii. You're not going to eradicate racism in Hawaii because you're not going to eradicate racism anywhere. Now, I'll preface this with two things. One is, I learned it in school. There's big D, discrimination, and little d. That would be that way. Is that a B? D, discrimination. Little d, big D. And the difference there is little d is when someone personally has a personal preference, like I hate those people. Fine, okay, sure. You can do that. It's your choices, right, in life. And that's what it comes down to, your choices in life. And they don't like certain people. Yeah, well, that's the cranky old blah blah. And they become known as that, Don't watch out when you talk to that guy. He doesn't like so-and-so. Well, that guy calls people the N-word, but he's not actually racist towards those people. There's all various people, freaking people. All different kinds. No two people are the same. Yet we're all the same. But big D, discrimination. That's the one. Big D, discrimination. That's the one you're talking about. Because that means when it's called institutionalized, and I'm using the sociology air quotes, it's a sociology word, institutionalized. What that is referring to is when you have laws made or rules made that are institutionalized. They're in that institution as a rule. So if they start making laws like the Jim Crow laws, things of that nature. I looked into the Old West, some history, and there's cemeteries. Boot Hill, and there's a Boot Hill, and you see Boot Hill. Now if you go to some of these places and they're around, you see a Boot Hill, and then there's a little Boot Hill over there for the Chinese who built railroads and dug in dangerous explosive mining conditions. The Chinese, because they were expendable pagans, but they couldn't be buried in the Christian, buried over there. And usually Boot Hill actually kind of more refers to the outlaw types, the ones that were criminals. Well, the criminals, yeah, they did nasty things and they were either hanged or shot from it, so they didn't have time to take off their boots because that's a dishonorable thing. So they died with their boots on is a disgrace thing. They died with their boots on, which means they're a low life or violent of the highest order. So they had their Boot Hill area, which is bad people. The Chinese, because they're not of the Christian value. They're different. And of course, step one down the little trail, even farther away, the Jewish. They separated Jewish burials in the 1800s Old West. That is institutionalized. But, they're private property when they plant you in the ground, if they do. So, what they had control over as far as property. But if you have a business that doesn't hire black people, there's your problem. If you got a business that doesn't hire homosexual people, because it's not all race, there's your problem. If you got, they don't pay women with the same qualification, the same amount of money, that's the problem. When you got a national law, that's a huge problem. Institutionalized, big D, discrimination. That's the problem.
So that's what you're going to work on. You can't work on people's thinking and feelings and this and that. Because this guy goes on, we're all guilty of it. Because you're not going to be not guilty of it. Even though people, there's not a racist bone in my body. Yeah, but you're 100% liar, because there is. Everyone has that. It happened to me before, because someone attacked me, and then I had a adverse fear reaction to people of that race, because I was attacked by that type of person. I was attacked before in my past, so, it sticks. I don't care what the fuck you think. Yeah, that person, that kind, no reason for this attack. So we're all guilty of it sometime in our lives, and I refer to someone or another in the ethnic background in derogatory terms. Boy, that's a 250-cent word. Derogatory. Oh, it's not on the spelling bee. From laughing at a joke. So he includes a joke, right? We're all guilty of it sometime. Here's a Portuguese joke. So 3 guys, 1 Portuguese, 1 Kanaka, and 1 Pake. So he's referring to pidgin English developed from the plantation days when different ethnic groups had to work together, and the taskmaster was a holly guy, a white guy. And it's just as brutal as the Old South, except there was multi-ethnic groups. They were little dog chains. They're getting, here's your pay, 1 bowl of rice per month. It was horrible. They sugar cane, pineapples, back in the 1800 times, and they all couldn't communicate, so they tried to piece together, chop suey style, a language so they can all communicate, and that's where you get pidgin English in Hawaii. So the guy over there was Chinese, so they used the Hawaiian word for Chinese, Pake. So they had the Pake guy over there. It was just a referral to those people. And of course they made jokes. I refer to that movie from Clint Eastwood, Gran Torino, I think it is, Gran Torino, right? And he's like an old crusty bigot type guy from the Korean War, and he's living in a house, and then some people from some Malaysia area come next door, and he's like, and at one point, but he winds up helping him out. It's a Clint Eastwood movie, class. He directed it too. And at one point, he goes into the local barber shop. This is like pubs and bars used to be social gathering. So were barber shops, of course. You just see it depicted. Barber, and then they talk, and then there's local news. They talk about it. Barber shop. So he goes into the barber shop, and it starts off, and it has this little protege guy from next door. I don't know what. It's like kind of like Filipino, but not Filipino. But little protege guy, and he goes into the barber shop, and Clint's like, "Yo, what's up, you damn Polak?" And that. You think, oh my God. I mean, there was like really on thick, and the other guy's like, "Shut up, you damn wop," and it was how they greeted each other. The ultimate racial slur, derogatory, blah blah blahs. We're just, instead of being held within where it festers, it's like freaking this, and it's a freaking damn cheap body, blah 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 blah. And then they come in, but they're friends. It produced bonds of community. And that's where pidgin English in the plantation days was. So when this guy's like, 1 Portuguese, 1 Kanaka, and 1 Pake, that doesn't know it. Or his other example is, or having a tourist say not mahalo properly and muttering dumb howley. Howley. I explained it before. That's like white guy. Howley. And it depends on how you say it. If someone says, "Oh, that's the howley guy," I don't give a crap. It doesn't matter to me. But if someone says, "Howley," with a mean, intent behind, I'm like, whoa. It depends on how you say howley. And howley doesn't ring my bells whatsoever. But I don't think anybody else did with the Pake and the Japanese guy. And it just, when this political police stuff came, this PC, politically correct, they're trying to police your mind. Dumb howley. Okay, for quickie lesson. Mahalo
is a Hawaiian word which means thank you. It doesn't mean trash, because you go into Waikiki, you'll see a trash can on the side of the road, so throw away your trash, don't be a litter bug, give a hoot, don't pollute, and we're all watching you. But throw away your trash, don't be a dick. People throw shit out the freaking window still. The local people, the dumb tourists, they're all kind of like, oh, freaking tourists, like the freaking tourists, they're polluting our place. And then have the plate lunch inside the car, and they throw the whole freaking styrofoam thing out the window. Okay, so dumb howling, mahalo. Mahalo is Hawaiian for thank you. You see mahalo on trash cans, throw away your stuff. Mahalo. It doesn't mean trash. And of course tourists don't know how to say basic local stuff. That's the fun thing about coming here and discovering the culture and learning things and interacting with people. They don't say mahalo properly. So what? I'm not expecting them to say, there's a highway, like. It's spelled like. As a joke, I say there's like as a joke. But people who say like because it looks like it says like, they don't know. So what? Oh, racism, because I said dumb howling. This didn't say howly. Because you gotta watch out about if someone comes on, watch out. Because some people are in Hawaii, just like any place, some people are deeply racist against others. And I experienced a lot of that when I was younger into elementary school. No, not elementary. Elementary school is wonderful. I had friends of all different kinds of races. Intermediate school, 7th and 8th grade. Middle school for you mainlanders. Hey, yeah, there's some people that see it was slap a Jap day at the end of the school year, but it was kill Howley day at the end of the school year. So people in school were running scared. That's but that sort of stuff, as long as you don't have, if you have aloha in your heart, love, and that's an improper use of aloha. Aloha spirit's been Christianized in a way. It's like, do unto others. I don't know. It's aloha's a word. Hello, goodbye. It's a greeting. Whenever you see the person, aloha, and a lot of love. So all those three combined. Aloha. Someone you really want to be around and see. Aloha. It's not greet the tourist. Aloha. That's just been commercialized. And then early Christians Christianized it with Christian spirit is aloha spirit. And then New Agers picked up aloha spirit. The great Gaia, Mother Earth, and Mana and aloha have been twisted. So if you want to delve into the true meanings, but it's all on the positivity side. But if you look at racial terms in Pidgin that were around from small kid time have numbered many of us. The impetus for change falls on to the new generation to end local kind racism. Change falls to the new generation. So I guess what he's saying is, hey, if you grew up in it, you're not going to change, yell about it. But for the young generation, it's all on you. The future is for the keikis to change the world. Hey, it ain't my problem. It's kind of like how he worded it. Anyways, so it's not the words that you use. It's not the labels. It's when you label it in your mind, when you do labels in your mind and you turn that us and them, got to get rid of that us and them. And that's a bad thing, us and them. And the other one is, it doesn't matter words, it's the intent in your heart. If you're hate in your heart,
you're going to be mean to people. If you have love in your heart, you're not going to tend to do that. No. We got to change the world by stop saying racial slurs from local kind racism. Because they don't want to be tagged with the... there is racism in America, for sure. And no one's going to get rid of it 100%. You know? And people don't like other people, and they don't act on it. And other people are acting violently in the opposite direction. So that's one big giant can of worms. So please don't leave a comment. But the main thing is, it's not reopened yet, but they're going to announce it today. So once again, a big long blah blah for nothing. I say, they didn't say. Until tomorrow. Hang loose. Hang loose.